credit,
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 credit.
credit.
Don't worry. I'll make sure you get the credit. Credit.
Shit, I can't believe this. I've got everything in there. My credit card, my wallet. Everything is in that bag.
Log in and check your weapon.
Well, I can't take all the credit for myself.
We simply can't do it. Now, get yourself a Social Security card, establish credit, and buy yourself a car.
I need your credit card.
Oh, I think the room is paid for.
Yeah.
Yes, it is, but the credit card is for Japan the home for all possible outcomes.
Incident.
I think I saw his head explode. But to his credit, he let me eat whatever I wanted.
Like late fees, you know, you call your landlord or your credit card company and you say, hey, I didn't pay on time, but I meant to.
I don't think he fired the shots. I think he's just taking credit for them.
What I mean is, I don't think we give them enough credit.
It's different.
One who's out to save the world.
But if you want the rest of our Medici credit vouchers, you'll help us.
You got a burner phone with a South American card as requested. Passports, driver's license, credit cards, all with the name Anthony Busca.
Capture. Why give Neil all the credit when we've gone through all this work to include you?
crack,
Crack, crack, crack, crack.
You seem to have all the answers. That crack that you made about me feeling guilty about something?
Sir, do you want to take a crack at how this cell phone got in your house?
Blow winds and crack your cheeks, crack your cheeks, crack your cheeks.
In order to attain the last few percent, I have to force it to crack the cells open to their nucleus.
Yeah, they're NDA. Dude, you crack me up, man.
Come with me.
So if you crack the code and find out where she is?
Can I talk to you?
Son, tell it again, won't you? Okay, so I heard the crack of the bat, I saw the ball out of the corner of my eye, and then boom, pure reflex.
Remember that. Really watching the batshit for my ass crack.
That sounds clear to you? Will be once I crack the encryption. I don't know enough to crack it on this end.
Hey, now put this copper walk on your head. It'll keep out the wiggling skull crack vibratories.
This is it. It's where Wade used to live. Home crack home. This isn't crack. Anyone can sell crack. All you need is a street corner and a hoodie.
I want their kneecaps to crack and to freeze on the stones.
bear,
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 Bear.
bear.
No, come on, he's barefoot. You three got sandals. He's got bare feet. Bare feet. Bare feet.
It's a case of it's you or him. If you come at you with his bare hands, that'd be different. And that wouldn't have been fair.
Well, technically, your bare hands can kill somebody too. They can be deadly weapons too. I mean, what if you knew karate, say?
Careful in here in the bare feet. You could cut him on almost anything.
Well, those little suckers are drawn to bare feet and car tires. And since you're not limping or bleeding...
So we were just headed out to dinner.
What, you think I show up empty-handed?
I brought dinner. Lobsters.
Did you catch them with your bare hands?
No, but I bought them with my bare hands.
Wow.
Did you change your mind after he hit you?
Wait, so if I punched you, you'd read my manuscript?
Jared hit me with his bare hand.
People bones.
Gotta go to the bathroom.
Well, I touched it with my bare hands. See?
If you're done, I can remove the excess tissue and take a closer look at the bare bone.
I see your hands, and my body trembles with memory. Your touch is like coarse silk against my bare skin, pulling me ever closer.
Some of Miss Turing's patients are a little clingy.
I've been open. I laid myself bare to you.
I've killed a man with my bare hands.
Miserable,
Miserable, miserable, miserable.
Miserable.
a burqa for the rest of her miserable life. Miserable life. Miserable life.
Cross. It's just put there to make you fucking miserable. Miserable. Miserable.
Right. Make the deal. Carrie can make their life miserable, miserable, miserable. Nail him on possession. Bishop won't touch Murphy's son.
And you never wanted kids?
I love that question. It seemed unfair to subject anyone to the miserable experience that I had.
I will some white bait, some little, tiny little fishes with little miserable looks on their face.
Everybody's miserable here because everybody sees the same things. They wake up in the same bed.
Acting for 5 minutes like Janice doesn't make all our lives miserable is the hardest work I'll do all day.
Who are you? You're gonna do this, or we're gonna make your fucking life more miserable than it already is.
This place is a miserable warren of cynicism and despair.
Yes. When things got truly miserable between us, I started seeing someone else.
We need to find a solution so that this one isn't miserable for 300 million people.
Admission.
Admission. Admission. Admission.
Admission.
Important elements in moving on past an old relationship. Admission, admission, admission.
I admitted to her with Daisy.
Cleansing.
Right, you were in a jet tub.
Because divorce is an embarrassing public admission of defeat.
Most of us learn to fight against it despite people's opinions without the help of others. And stop trying to wring some kind of admission of guilt out of me.
Even a simple expression of sympathy could be construed as an admission of guilt.
Then it's an admission. That's my patient. I'm their family doctor.
He's right. I just witnessed it.
Due to this admission, Your Honor, all evidence regarding Mr. Gardner's bribing of a judge should be excluded.
And family money can't buy you back in?
Well, this is a public school. We have a rigorous admissions policy, wait list.
Do you remember where he lived?
By the park on Maple.
He boned her.
It wasn't an admission.
If he did pursue Briggs in order to record that admission, his disappearance would be on tape.
Negra Arroyo Lane, Albuquerque, New Mexico, 87104. To all law enforcement entities, this is not an admission of guilt. I am speaking to my family now.
My admission had nothing to do with the audition process.
Yet you're the only pianist in your class.
Yeah, because none of the other applicants were good enough to get in this year.
Raymond will plead the fifth. If he names me, it's an admission of his own wrongdoing.
You didn't deserve that.
I'm a target now. That's the price of admission.
We both are.
Terminal.
Terminal. Terminal. Terminal. Terminal.
Terminal B, Terminal B, Terminal B is about a mile away. Air France, Hangar 30.
Noah is no friend of mine. But he's very rich and powerful, and he's terminal, and he's terminal, and he's terminal. And he wants to meet his grandson before he dies.
How about early morning or a nooner at the Port Authority bus terminal? Bus terminal, bus terminal.
Oh, good. The cameras in the terminal didn't see me.
Couldn't lose you if you were a suitcase at Terminal 5.
No, I'm just looking out for you, bruv. That's all. I don't know this girl.
Now that is gonna be cool. It's a computer terminal board I'm working on.
You're saying that she worked at the terminal for most of the day?
Yeah, she was here from...
After you get on that terminal and do what you have to do.
Depends on a number of factors, including density of the infected around target sites worldwide.
All 5 patients with terminal, she exceeded the dosing protocols to try to save their life. You would have done the same. You... What? How?
Well, let's just say your pilot's back at the terminal having coffee with a few dead presidents, so.
OS1, range and bearing to the terminal.
Road bearing 220, approximately 1,500 yards.
I'll need access to a secure terminal.
Follow me.
Nerve. 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 Nerve.
Nerve.
Nerve damage, Briggs.
Can't believe you had the nerve to make this so much better.
I've been wondering how
you got the nerve, how you got the nerve, how you got the nerve to come so far from home, all alone.
She has a nerve flaunting herself like a slut in society.
Hey, my nigga, you got a lot of fucking nerve.
What, am I in trouble?
For Miss Crabtree. Yeah!
They were.
When are you finally gonna work up the nerve to ask her to marry you?
It's a lie. Man's grasp exceeds his nerve.
I get to tell my side of this story. People are gonna know the truth.
So that's nerve-wracking. She could think you robbed her house.
All right. I just saw a little girl with optic nerve damage because of chronic oxygen deficiency.
Yeah, you're the sneaky one. The one with nerve. You don't scare her easy, do you?
But you sure have some nerve crashing a 6-year-old's birthday party.
Discover.
Discover.
Discover. Discover. Discover.
He shed a bed.
I'm concerned they might dig past that and discover something far more damaging.
What scares you so much about traveling into the past, sir?
I'm not.
Are you afraid that we might discover that our past has been reshapen?
The land this describes doesn't exist. Well, then we'll just have to discover it. To discover it. To discover it.
Better than excellent. No one has been able to discover anything about us since their death, or if they have.
As our ancestors once lived, you boys are about to discover what it is to be a man.
I think I do. She knows she's lying to us, and if she runs those diagnostics, we'll discover the truth.
You told me that I've become someone else, and I would like to maybe discover a little more about that person.
Women need to feel beautiful and loved, especially those of a certain age. And when we discover that we've been fools...
Or I can discover how to get my revenge on Rumpelstiltskin.
Well, they will after they discover the body.
So, what did you learn? Did you discover why our parents went to the Enchanted Forest?
Distress. Distress. Distress.
Distress.
Distress.
Okay. I mean, if you're in distress, I will help you.
Once we mistook the cries of a small puppy for a baby in distress. Baby in distress. Baby in distress.
What have you got?
Distress call, sir, one of ours.
Who the hell are you guys? Open the damn gate!
Guy. Rescues a damsel in distress. Goddamn hero is what he is. They should put a medal on him. A damsel in distress, huh?
Some would say she's more hindrance.
Ella! Ella! Look what I found! We're damsels in distress.
Oh. For 13 of the 15 minutes that we've been here, it's a classic self-comforting posture, an attempt to neutralize the distress signals being sent by your limbic system.
This looks expensive.
We have a tab running. Sir, the carrier's distress call is expanded to all channels.
The whole way round.
Look, I didn't know you were joining us.
I get a distress call from a fair maiden and I'm on the spot.
I was not distressed. And you're saying this wall goes around, what, the whole town? Reckless infliction of emotional distress? Are you kidding me?
Ambulance 61, respiratory distress, 26 Orchard Street. Truck 81, ambulance 61, officer in distress, Bishop and Huron.
Interaction. Interaction.
Interaction.
Interaction.
Interaction.
We redefined activities to include all interactions between staff and residents in the unit.
As the case continues, there will be more interactions, and with each interaction, more of the man will be revealed to me.
Good, but, you know, human interaction, mammal to mammal.
I arrived, yes, so we've never met.
In 11 years, you've never had any interaction with the person.
That's not completely true.
Can consciousness exist without interaction?
Lab found a complex interaction of various drugs, including tetrodotoxins.
How much interaction did Anne have with the primates here?
You sure you never met him before? No previous interaction?
No. There are also drugs and drug interactions that can trigger memory loss.
Thank you so much. This interaction with his victims is the final step to determining if they'll die.
And as far as our interaction is concerned, I mean, we're basically at the broken record stage, aren't we?
Exclude.
Exclude. Exclude.
Exclude.
Exclude.
People who have more to gain from seeing you dead than alive. Present company excluded. Excluded. Excluded.
I got the internship.
Outstanding. Congratulations.
I'm feeling excluded, excluded, excluded. Could someone fix that?
I have a great problem with it.
But you'll do it anyway.
Unless you'd like to exclude me. Exclude me. Exclude me.
Your job was to include or exclude me based on...
Well, he's a cad. Well, it's obvious he's up to something, the way he excluded me from your little date.
Excluding it from the crime scene narrative, but that only applies to irrelevant details. We wouldn't exclude pertinent evidence.
She's right.
Okay, Erickson, how flexible are you on confidentiality?
Exclude no criminal discovery.
Your Honor, given this testimony, we request that Detective Shore's work product be excluded from the record.
If Mozzie's name ends up in the FBI files, he's made.
I could have excluded his name from the official report, you know.
Rabbit. Rabbit. Rabbit.
Rabbit.
Rabbit.
Peter the Rabbit? Peter the Rabbit? Peter the Rabbit? Hold, please. I need rest.
The rabbit watches the door. Sly fox.
Black poles, white holes, you know, maybe all pile on the little white rabbit, right? You know?
We're not in the simulator now, Mako. Remember, don't chase the rabbit.
I'll eat what you want, unless it's rabbit. Rabbits are pets, I don't eat pets.
And you were so little, like a rabbit or something, you know, with this...
The Magnificent!
For my first trick, I will pull a rabbit out of this hat. Alakazam!
Hell of a rabbit, huh?
You made it.
Oh, perfect. So we'll pair that with a nice light...
the braised rabbit.
Bella?
I'll let you know how deep the rabbit hole goes.
Define. Define. Define.
Define.
Define.
Mr. President, you okay?
Define okay. Define okay. Define okay.
What happened, John?
That these moments of impact define who we are. Define who we are. Define who we are.
If,
Nate. Killed anyone?
Define killed. Define killed. Define killed.
That's exactly why he won't open up.
There's something about this pomegranate. I can't define it yet. But the Greeks teach us everything can be everything.
I executed my friend.
One decision does not define a man.
The things that we've done to survive, they don't define us.
Promise of a thing hard to define and impossible to deliver. That is what you're suggesting I get.
Right, Derek? But those choices don't have to define you. They don't have to define who your family will be.
Nobody says that anymore.
I say it. I define my own cool.
Why? Because we don't want the way that others see us to define who we are.
Right. You would have done something equally as stupid.
I guess that depends on how you define stupid.
We can't let it define us. We have to find the good moments in between all of the bad ones.
How do you define their worth?
Notable.
Notable. Notable.
Notable.
Notable.
Really?
Hey, I've got to stay neutral. You know, everyone needs a preacher.
Neutral? Neutral? Neutral?
I liked her. Yeah, me too. Kind of thought she'd be the one to yank you out of neutral. Neutral.
Neutral? What are you talking about, Dan? I'm in overdrive.
When we flashed the neutral face, this area should light up.
Diapers. We're family, Joss, so if you want to talk about it, I'm here to listen as a neutral party.
Deny to per back?
No, it's a neutral site.
What do I say?
You tell him you want to meet on neutral ground.
We'll meet on your terms.
Neutral corner.
Well, good for you.
Though I try to stay neutral in the whole East Coast, West Coast thing.
I slipped out of her house before she woke up and never called her again. Put my pants on in her yard, put the car in neutral, let it roll down the driveway, lights off. Hey, I can't talk about this anymore.
It's been keeping the pace.
Scarlatti's team takes out Becker's. Even the neutral UN countries are going to fall in line with Senator Ward's proposal.
What the hell does that even mean?
Nothing. Space being neutral, or in some cases negative.
What are you gonna do? Cut the seats open?
Someone thought they wiped the blood away from the seat. Look at this.
Blood. This is no accident. You know, with the gear shifters in neutral, somebody pushed this car down here.
Appetite.
Appetite. Appetite. Appetite. Appetite.
You seriously just ruined my appetite. Appetite. Oh.
Hey, Dad, sit down and eat.
Lost my appetite.
There, that's better. I hope I didn't put you off your appetite.
No, please.
Are you hungry?
Hunger's not a stage.
It's true, but loss of appetite is a sign of depression.
It's a dressing.
I lost my appetite.
Good morning.
Look who's got his appetite back.
Honey, you've got to eat something.
I don't have an appetite.
Only don't tell me about legality. Be at my house when I get there. Let's go. I've suddenly lost my appetite.
I hear you've lost your appetite. Okay, don't talk.
So, how's your appetite?
Fine.
Oh, I sold all my stuff and it's still not enough money for the cruise. Just try to enjoy your dinner, sweetie. I can't. I sold my dinner futures.
Nice doing business with you, boy.
Homer! It's okay. I don't have much of an appetite. I'm going to floor.
Hostile.
Hostile. Hostile. Hostile.
Hostile.
Be a straw buyer for a takeover. Hostile bid. But, kid gloves.
Eva, what do you see? My count is 30 hostiles.
31.
A strong, independent woman. Sounds like somebody else I know.
I was never hostile, though.
Now, that's what I call a hostile takeover.
You know the only rule in life. You got to win.
Think of it as a merger, more like a hostile takeover.
Guys, he made his fortune in hostile takeovers. A couple of weeks ago, he shut down a chemical plant in Newark and sold it off for parts.
All the bad press after the undertaking left Queen Consolidated ripe for a hostile takeover by Stelmore International.
Idea what you're talking about.
Wow, he fooled around with a lot of girls. I don't see any of them ordering hostile takeovers.
Fooled around.
CIC, bridge. Hostiles operating aboard Solace. I need a 360 surface search.
At this range, here's our dog box, TAO. Hostile sub designate as Goblin 1.
Surgery is hot. It's the Marines. It's macho. It's hostile. It's hardcore.
Hostile? Did she really call my uterus hostile?
Are you forgetting what she said after that?
What, about my hostile uterus causing me to miscarry the first time, or the likelihood that it'll happen again?
That there is a treatment, she said.
Hostile.
Well, you're just getting stuck on the word.
Architecture.
Architecture. Architecture. Architecture. Architecture.
architecture of happiness.
Yeah, it's...
Show me.
Please, I don't know anything about architecture.
Every single time you've gone up a tier in the architecture, you've had to pull everything apart and solder resistors. What makes you think it's going to be any different now?
Mind of a man confined works differently than someone on the outside. He sees things different. The architecture is vertical.
It's a mean place. Unlike Silicon Valley.
All this architecture.
You got to check out the Gaslamp District.
But I feel like that's too bar-scene-y.
There is, but the architecture. I love the architecture. In the galleries, there's amazing art there.
Alex on West End Avenue. It's the first place that Howbridge lived when he came to New York.
You bought it for nostalgia?
It's a classic 6. Maybe Howbridge is into pre-war architecture.
You are gonna love New York, Walt. No city like it. You know what I really want to show you in New York? Are the buildings, the architecture.
Buildings?
I don't need food. Look at this. Architecture's everywhere.
I don't traffic in wordplay, Kent. But I do have a message for Mr. Prank Lloyd Wright.
That's architecture, not painting, Chief.
Guard.
Guard.
God.
Hey, quit hitting me, guard.
Just doing my guard job.
Monster?
Oh, she's a vicious guard dog. She's not very good at her job.
Rubik's Cube. I'm sorry, Keisha. Some things just shouldn't be shared.
I let my guard down.
Oh, you
and
let
you're gonna
your
throw
guard
it back in my face?
565, then they meet up at the top. The guard down there at the bottom, the heavy's that guy. He doesn't move much.
And file this with the Legion Administrator for your Royal Guard appointment. Yes?
When? His security guard called for a private helicopter at 4 p.m.
Nothing. I need you all to guard Master Yao's box, which he is in, as is expected of him to be.
The guard was so busy checking out my assets that he didn't notice me cut the tripwire on the Goya's back.
And spotters across the street.
What about Danberg?
A guard ID'd him as having entered the building 45 minutes ago.
Is there usually a guard on duty?
Well, yeah, he leaves at 6, but we can still access our database from his workstation here.
He was in a prison guard uniform and a ski mask.
Outside. One of the guards was pronounced dead on the scene, while the other died en route to Starling General.
The guard owed me a favor.
Thank you.
I'll meet you there.
Do not lower your guard until you see my face.
Exchange.
Exchange. Exchange.
Exchange.
Exchange.
No returns, no exchanges, no exchanges, no exchanges. Queen's orders. She's named you the official Arendelle Ice Master and Deliverer.
Listen to what we're offering you. In exchange for what? In exchange for what? In exchange for what? For your services, of course, to your country.
State's evidence against the O'Reilly family in exchange for immunity. In exchange for immunity. In exchange for immunity.
Fair exchange. See you.
Please exchange for this.
It's currency exchange.
Cartoons? Is that what you call porn these days?
He needs to exchange his suit. $6.
$6? This cost me $4 grand. I have visual confirm of the exchange.
Just hold until my signal.
Yeah. Go and exchange some bodily fluids. We'll see you later. All right. Cool.
I mean, you would have to do a currency exchange to get the US dollar equivalent, but I mean...
What about names?
You don't exchange names in a place like that.
I've been tracking an exchange on Dark Market. An undisclosed parcel pickup here in Los Angeles.
For the dark one, in exchange for another life.
Whoa, hang on a minute. What?
It's a one-for-one trade.
Japanese exchange student?
Oh, Shintaro?
Yes.
Applicant.
Applicant. Applicant. Applicant. Applicant.
I was wondering if I might put a card in your window.
A card, my lady?
For a job asking for applicants, applicants, applicants.
Now, for each applicant, he used a different member of the visa team. And when I started asking questions, he ignored me, slammed them through.
So what's the connection between the applicants? Applicants.
Kate took the monthly visa list. The flash drive contains all of the background checks and references on the applicants.
Well, he is like no other applicant we have ever considered.
A unique, special child?
This isn't a child, it's an applicant.
We have very few positions and vacancies. But when there is one, of course, always hundreds of applicants.
This is the Republic of Macedonia, fledgling democracy and applicant for full membership to the European Union.
Ivy League schools look fondly on applicants who serve in student government. Lexis is beefing up her resume before she reapplies to Stanford.
Clint Granger, hothead pilot. He was one of our applicants until he was kicked out of the program.
Not our system, but as part of the Mars 2018 program, every applicant had to submit sample DNA.
I saw your name on the applicant list. Yeah, that...
Raw. Raw.
Raw. Raw. Raw.
It keeps the flavor in. If you put it in raw, it's completely flavorless.
Oh, free pizza. Looks better than free pizza.
Lots of things. Sushi, for example.
It's like raw fish, right?
No.
And so the last part I remember, the girl is putting these raw pancakes in front of him, and then something else funny happened.
Sorry I'm late. Glass ran low. That's okay. It's so cold and raw out. I don't want him getting sick at the game.
It took Casey months to sort through the raw data, and he had an entire team.
I'm serious. That doesn't sound fair to me. I think you're getting the raw end of this newspaper throwing deal.
It's fine.
And yeah, he will drive you all mad, but in terms of raw talent and right stuff...
Have anything to do with protecting someone?
Sergeant Kale demonstrates a lack of respect for authority. Sergeant Kale has raw potential, but seems determined not to realize it.
You can keep reading that.
I have an incentive.
Remember what we set a date? You run your stories, we post the raw data.
Stocks of raw materials, gas, factory ships, transport of vehicles.
Ah! It's got raw eggs in it. So salmonella is on the rise, so no.
And with what?
The win is now, and this is a hospital. I know we can find the raw materials and machines.
Decode. Decode.
Decode.
Decode. Decode.
Key cipher, but I can't decode it without...
And we work with what we got.
I was able to decode the live video of Amy in the park that Wesley sent.
Now hang on. We had a deal. I get off this boat.
You decode that message, you're off the side in pieces.
I needed to get this first. Thanks for helping me decode the actual box.
Yeah, we understand the consequences.
That's why we're rescuing Ari after we get Alex back, so she can't use him to decode the box, right?
Hey, Angela is still trying to decode the picture. She says it's very complex.
I'm working on that now.
So Angela decoded the smart key, got the victim's name?
Yeah, I've been missing 4 days.
Is clearing Brennan.
So, if you want to stay here and use this facility to decode Plant's handiwork, you'll cooperate with Dr. Edison.
I mean, without a computer, something like this would take months to decode.
And inside that satchel is a sextant that can help us decode Neil's star map that can get us off this island. I've seen enemy battle plans that were easier to decode than this.
Let me see.
It's also never wrong. While I haven't decoded all the numbers, there does appear to be a common thread.
Range.
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 Staring out of range. Staring out of range. Staring out of range. Only waiting until it's dark.
Benefit of seeing the 9mm slugs we pulled from their heads.
Your shot. At close range, at close range, at close range. I suspect whomever did this started the fire to cover their tracks.
Ray.
Hey, I've been trying to call you.
Yeah, I was out of cell range. A cell range. A cell range.
So now imagine such an entity with a full range of human emotion, even self-awareness.
I'm telling you, with these boxer briefs, I got a full range of motion.
Judging by wind speed, they should be within range in 2 minutes.
Our entire army stopped just outside the Vale's range. Why?
You think?
Interestingly, his style seems to range from impressionistic to WTF.
Continent.
How far can we go in this thing?
We have 4 extra tanks, so we've a long range.
One of those missiles has an effective range of up to 2,400 kilometers.
Sure. Plane is within range.
Really okay. His heart rate is within normal range for him. No, I mean, the lightning bolt changed him.
Super light.
Oh, technically, it's a multi-spectrum ultraviolet laser-enhanced scanner that detects molecular schisms in the 600 megavolt range, but I figured super light was easier to say.
All right, your turn! No way! Not till you're out of range! Not moving! Let go now! All right, here I come! All right.
Given his condition, his respirations are in normal range.
Signal. Signal.
Signal. Signal.
Signal.
Signal getting stronger. Signal getting stronger. Signal getting stronger. 10, 15, keep going. 20, 15, 10. Signal's getting weaker. Signal's getting weaker. Signal's getting weaker. We lost him. No signal.
I'll give you a signal. I'll give you a signal. I'll give you a signal. I'll rub my nose and scratch my ear. What will you need?
I'll take care of it.
From the exchange.
Just hold until my signal.
This goddamn thing. I can never get a signal this far out of town.
When you see my signal, you unleash hell. Wish me luck.
Wait, what's the signal?
Oh, it'll be me. Blowing one of these bitches' heads off.
In 2008, the company that made that pager had no signal towers within 42 blocks of your old offices.
Tiffany exhibit tonight. We saw her signal you.
Mr. Riley.
Signal arranger! Full sail, final approach!
Once the main master watch has been eliminated, hoist your signal. If there is no signal before the reinforcements for the night's watch depart the beach, I'll assume failure and begin our escape down the coast.
But the signal's in time.
Then we'll launch our assault.
It was amazing.
We were good signal today.
Who brings a dead phone to a firefight, right? But no signal.
They see us coming, that fire becomes a signal. Gives Mance Raider plenty of time to throw a party in our honor.
Evaluate.
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 Hey, Prince, what you doing? Just, observing the school so that I can better evaluate applicants. Evaluate applicants. Evaluate applicants. Cool. I'm cutting class. Cutting class is never a good idea.
And therefore, I think that this is a good time for us to evaluate our relationship. Evaluate our relationship. Evaluate our relationship.
Really?
Yeah.
To evaluate 3 players. To evaluate 3 players. To evaluate 3 players.
Yeah.
How many did you do?
47.
Yeah, you're right. We can't rely on this or the Jords. We've got to evaluate them face to face.
They're breathtaking.
Then produce these miraculous renderings and let us evaluate them.
In order to better evaluate your work.
I wish I brought a boat.
Well,
Only been at it for a couple of hours.
We can't even find any suspects to evaluate. She seems to have no boyfriend, no close friends. To put a finer point on it, it's from the program. The chance to evaluate which aspects of it work for me and which don't.
Evaluate his inbound missile.
Recommend launch chaff. Brace for shock. All hands, brace for shock.
Born. Sir, I hate to interrupt, but I'd like to evaluate one of our employees and act with authority.
Standard military procedure. You evaluate your target options to the last minute, and then you go with the best one.